tene ta chitang tanda chitang tangaranso tambichu nyamlente pe memambu si top tambichu shen de memambola per top na tene jitin je kom de dewa ta jipa ta disinikala yang ta pa yung yo la te yung ya ge chidla ta tanda tamul lujin rabo ge ngote tamul lujin ge ne loju tamul lujin ge ne junsen tenzo yapoche per top na tene ti ge memambola pento jachembo yung yo la ti cherna tanda video tanke tenzo la ya tujiche 휴주다 tene 대견도 비디오 zonkin tensolaya 나랑 그냥 답안에 tujichi 휴이
Khenchen Thrangu Rinpoche is the 9th incarnation of this lineage. He was born in Kham, Tibet in 1933. When he was 4 years old, His Holiness the 16th Gyalwang Karmapa and Palpung Situ Rinpoche recognized him as the incarnation of the Thrangu Tulku by prophesying the names of his parents and the place of his birth. He entered Thrangu Monastery at the age of 7 and learned to read and write, mastered grammar and poetry and astrology, memorized ritual texts, and completed 2 preliminary retreats by the age of 16. At 16, under the direction of Khenpo Lodro Rabsel, he began the study of the 3 vehicles of Buddhism while staying in retreat. At 23, he received full ordination from His Holiness the Karmapa. Thrangu Rinpoche was also, along with Chogyam Trungpa, a student of the famous Khenpo Gangsharu. When he was 27, Rinpoche left for India at the time of the communist invasion of Tibet. He was called to Rumtek, Sikkim, where the Karmapa had his seat in exile. At 35, he took the Geshe examination before 1,500 monks at Buksador monastic refugee camp in Bengal, and was awarded the degree of Geshe Hlaramba. On his return to Rumtek, he was named abbot of Rumtek Monastery and the Nalanda Institute for Higher Buddhist Studies at Rumtek. He was the personal teacher of the 4 principal Kagyu Tulkus, Tashi Rinpoche, Jamgon Kongtrul Rinpoche, Gyaltsab Rinpoche, and Shama Rinpoche. In Nepal, Thrangu Rinpoche founded Thrangu Tashi Churling in Bodhanath, a retreat center and monastic college at NamoBuddha, Tara Abbey, a nunnery in Swayambhu, and a school in Bodhanath that educates lay children as well as young monks and nuns. In October 1999, Rinpoche consecrated the Vajravidya Institute in Sarnath, India, which is a school for Buddhist studies and a center for translation and publishing. Thrangu Monastery in Tibet has been mostly rebuilt, and it is thriving with many monks. Thrangu Rinpoche has centers in Asia, Europe, and North America, and travels extensively throughout the world to teach. Rinpoche is also the abbot of Gampo Abbey in Nova Scotia, Canada, and spiritual director of the Karma Kaju Association of Germany's Mahamudra Retreat Center in Hallstatt, Germany. Widely recognized as a master of Mahamudra, as well as a great scholar with a vast knowledge of Dharma, Thrangu Rinpoche is also known for his ability to make complex teachings accessible and understandable for students. After the escape of the 17th Karmapa Urgyen Trungpa Dorje from Tibet to India, His Holiness the Dalai Lama appointed Thrangu Rinpoche as the Karmapa's personal tutor. A 2.5-hour journey from Kathmandu along a rugged, bumpy road that passes through some typical villages and lush scenery brings you to this wonderful setting of the NamoBuddha stupa. Located approximately 37 kilometers away from the city. But it is a mission, a trip that any dedicated Buddhist seeking enlightenment should probably complete. NamoBuddha, Nepal is one of the most sacred and important Buddhist pilgrimage sites in the world. It is known as the place where the Buddha, in a previous life as a prince, gave his body to a starving tigress and her cubs. NamoBuddha is called Tatmo Lujin in Tibetan, which literally means giving body to tigress, and Namura in Newari.
Tatmo Lujin te ne tsa chenpo Charlie ke Junsen te ne cherdo semjin la pembar sepa la paru tu chimba tukano ne jimbi paru tu chimba re la jimbi paru tu chimba la ya tene cherdo tongwa tong shindo tongwa tong 자가의 동화세 넘버 섬유에 benangni 다 짐바 짜치슈라고도 자가의 동화 데 자가의 동화세나 고동 연라 라소바 랑그 루 짐바 땅와데 베칼리카보레 데네 롱지 짐바 땅 토그레 연다가 타키가 고네 짐바 땅 토그 요아레데 인나야 데네 루 짐바 땅세게데 베메시 베칼리카보레라 데네 디게 topji tene jimba paru to tsimba zoge yore tene daja ka temba zobu sonde jamdende shonju sembe ko jewa yibe kapso tene tomo lujinge ne la tene tomo tribe nyemba ge so jabe ge cherto kong gulu ge kushata chwada jeba tongji tene tu jewa chimbu go ne jimba tangwa yinbe cherna tene tangwa du jinge ne de be za chimbu ta chebar tan papa chungare.
It would be befitting to relate the legend of this marvelous Chaitya in brief. A legacy of great compassion. Once there lived a prince named Mahasattva, the son of Pansala, the Maharata of Panauti. Pansala had 3 sons. One day these 3 princes went hunting in a forest along with their followers. When they arrived in the middle of the forest, they saw a starving tigress about to devour her own cubs. Prince Mahasattva, out of great compassion, offered his flesh and blood to the tigress without any hesitation. Since the tigress was too weak to eat the prince, Prince Mahasattva cut his own body piece by piece and offered it to the tigress, thus saving the hungry tigress and her cubs. When his 2 elder brothers learned about this event, they lamented bitterly the loss of their younger brother. In the meantime, the queen of Pansala had a bad dream. She saw her youngest son in the form of a pigeon being devoured by a hawk. She told her dream to the king and cried bitterly. The king ordered his people to investigate if the queen's dream were true. The people searched for the 3 princes in every nook and corner of the city and forest. At last they found the princes in the forest lamenting the loss of their youngest brother. They came back to the palace in deep sorrow. The whole family was grief-stricken when they learned about the death of Prince Mahasattva. Finally, the king, together with his queen and family members, held the prince's funeral rites and erected a chaitya with the relics of his bones. According to Wright's Chronicle, in later years, Prince took rebirth as Shakyamuni Buddha. During his birth as Shakyamuni Buddha, he visited Swayambhu Chaitya and Manjushri Chaitya and dwelt for a while at Puchagra Chaitya. He then visited Gujaswari and then NamoBuddha Hill. There he uncovered and showed his disciples certain ornaments that had belonged to him, buried under a chaitya. He then replaced them as they were and renovated the chaitya. Since then, this stupa has celebrated the Buddha Shakyamuni's sacrifice of his body to the tigress suffering from great hunger.
Nekor sinkite chitang ondse na tenite rang jepalan jurwate teni senji kuhong jurwate tangbo jamninji mepala jamninji yepandabo teni depato mugu mepala depato mugu yepandabo teni dejendo teni te dambichu la ichi dezam je matopala dambichu la ichi je topandabo ta teni sam dan jepala njurwa tepna de nekor ke ndrebandabo la teni tanda tomo lujing nekor la sona teni nga dacha ka tempa zopo sonje jamden de chongchu sembe nekap la netna la koi jewa yeba koi jewa yene teni senchin dongal jen la tok jewa chenpo tok jewa chenpo yeba tok jewa chenpo yeba zangda yung maze teni kulu la yung ponsen meba teni tomo tripi nyenpa la jimba tang tupa ga teni tuji tang shamba tang nije yeba de kone teni rangi sanji jamden de la tang di sumbe tangbe chue la 대파당 이지 제 토반다보다 대전도 생진 동할진 통지라요 상바당 이지 제거기야 봐 히발라서 바다 된데게 그바동 팬 전부 용기요라 드니 델라테네 네콜란 도기야 봐 제다 드니 네콜란 도디 델라 든 제당가 산지근 제바당 산지가 담비 추된저 제버진 임바 히바정도 마지 네데야다 제버진 레 드니지 굴도 le jimba tangwa re sombe deba tang ichi chebar jenji je ba yungi ware la teacher na teni tomo lujin nekur roju te kalchenpo re.
NamoBuddha, as one can see, is a very old, traditional Newar-style chaitya, surrounded by a number of other smaller chaityas. A stone carving at the bottom of the main chaitya depicts the image of Queen Satyavati, the mother of Prince Mahasattva. She is flanked by her two elder sons, Prince Mahadeva and Mahapranad. The main chaitya consists of a Vedika, a dome above which stands a square-shaped harmaka with two Buddha eyes on each side looking in the four directions. This represents the wisdom and compassion of the Buddha. Above the harmaka are 13 layers of discs, which represent the spheres of the bodhisattvas according to the Newar Buddhist tradition. Also on the top of the harmaka is a spire or parasol, which represents the ultimate aim of Buddhism, that is, Buddhahood. Every day, a caretaker performs rituals in this small shrine. Making offerings, reciting prayers, and lighting butter lamps. Numerous prayer flags stream from the apex of the stupa to the foot, adding to the religiousness and beauty of the monument. Additionally, there is a railing embedded with prayer wheels installed around the chaityas. Devotees spin these as they say their prayers. If you go further uphill from the left side of the Chaitya, you will come to a small shrine dedicated to Prince Mahasattva. On the place where the prince sacrificed his own flesh and blood to the hungry tigress. This shrine lies in a small cave, where one can find stone sculptures of the hungry tigress and her 5 cubs in front of Prince Mahasattva.
Tene ta chitang dukhan ta hiera senki te ne shinlaji zop gu ge yaba. Ta ne shinlaji na zop na tene ngoma sanji gen zepa ta tuto chimbo tenzu gen zepa tenle de jesu tene tene tambi chula depa tamu pa chimbo yungi yore la tene cherdo tamu lujin te tene sanji ge songchu sembe neka la tene kulu tala jimba tang tene ti jesu daja ka tenpa zopu songji jam tende ya ne te ni de pep ne tene songchu semba tanda jalu nintop jinga rubu tenzo ten rinser tenzo ten nang ne shila nangwa tene sanji jam tende zamda yung maze jagar ga tuto chimbo tangchi tang tene pe ni sembe lama chi sing tangpa tang tene bayu rang la sembe ga tuto chimbo tenzo ya ta ne kor la mangbo pep tene chuyo ka shawa mangbo nze yo re la tene teacher na ne te la shenla chepar chen yo re la shenla chepar chen yepa yinpe cher na tene drupa jankin ke yina ya tene drupa ja nyamli na na tene topa chepar chen jila jewa la sopa gupa tang pento chenpo yo re tene pesha tangkin tang tuisam tangkin soge yina ya tene tangpi chuyo la tepa tang ichi chepar chen che ne tene teni to tene tuisam na na tene tela tene pento chenpo yungi yo re la tene junsin teacher na tena la hieta tang drupda tende tso na pento chenpo yungi re samba tende chungwa re.
Acknowledging the importance of this sacred site, the Venerable Thrangu Rinpoche, a great Kagyu master, took the initiative to build a retreat center here in 1977. But later, this small original retreat center, which had few facilities, could not support the growing needs and aspirations of Rinpoche's disciples. Realizing this, Rinpoche developed a vision of how to expand the center. Assistance and cooperation from many others started pouring in, helping materialize the vision. As a result, it has grown into the monastery envisioned by Rinpoche. Which includes the NamoBuddha Retreat Center, a college for higher Buddhist studies or Shedra, and a school that gives young monks secular and religious education. The main temple was designed by Thrangu Rinpoche as a representation of the 3 yanas or paths. It is beautiful, elegant, and filled with symbolic meaning as befits this holy Buddhist pilgrimage site. At the same time, Rinpoche built 8 chaityas on the top of a hill nearby the retreat center. Along with a tall Buddha statue richly decorated with ornamental designs and motifs. In front of this statue are his first 5 disciples kneeling with hands folded, in a posture ready to listen to his first sermon. Venerable Rinpoche regularly gives teachings to his disciples here on important Buddhist texts, such as the Bodhicharyavatara, which was composed by the great Bodhisattva Shantideva. This teaches the path of the Bodhisattva, that is, the path of perfection. It emphasizes the practice of bodhicitta, or great compassion. As a result, this monastery has become a symbol of faith for all followers of Buddhism worldwide. The pujas and teachings delivered at the center inspire deep faith in people from all over the world. Faith in the Buddhist philosophy and deep reverence and devotion to the Guru, and his profound teachings trigger new inspiration and enthusiasm among disciples. Which in turn become the foundation for all of their success. In the distance, one can view a majestic sight of a nearby village and the range of Himalayan peaks. This setting is inspirational and thrilling at the same time. It awakens us to the reality of how compassion leads to sacrifice. How Prince Mahasattva demonstrated his perfection of generosity by giving up his flesh to feed a hungry tigress. NamoBuddha Stupa is considered the most sacred and powerful stupa of all. A place whose power and energy are devoted to lasting happiness and true compassion. It is a must-visit destination for anyone keen on Buddhism.